Yo, what's going on, guys? And welcome to another day of the Beyond the Backboard. I was about to say the NBA show, but we rebranded. So I'm here with my coffee. I'm solo balling. Quick episode today. We won't hold you for too long, as looks so Boot just told me he's not hopping on. What I wanted to do today was talk about things I want to talk about. And how we're going to do that is I'm probably going to take the time to multitask. Now, what we have planned for today's show, Jordan Poole, according to a Mark Stein and Bleacher Report, Mark Stein of the Stein Line, the Bleacher Report also wrote a report. Washington Wizards don't view him as franchise cornerstone material, which I agree, he's not. And as a result, they do plan to move on from him at some point, is the report. Next up, we have to talk about is the Minnesota Timberwolves are legit fucking contenders. That's not even a question. Alperen Sengun's on that Domantas Sabonis, Nikola Jokic wave. And, of course, the Miami Heat and Bam Adebayo are freaking fantastic. I'm wearing my shirt today, guys. So let's get right into it. And I want to hear any thoughts you guys do have that want to share. But yeah, we're just gonna hop right into this, and I might be looking off screen because like I said, I am going to be multitasking. As a result, I'm just opening up the stream because I lost the chat bar. We used to have a chat box on here, and now the chat box is gone. But it's here nor there. So let's get right into the topics at hand. And really, the first thing I want to let's talk about our man Bam Adebayo, who had a great game. All right, so Last night, the Miami Heat had a great game, and I think the Miami Heat are just going on a run that for the last, I would have to say, few weeks, the Miami Heat have been one of the better teams in the league. In the sense that when I look at the Miami Heat, especially Bam Adebayo, who's averaging what like is insane stat line. Okay, Bam Adebayo, people just think, oh, he's a product of the Miami Heat, but they've made this guy one of the most complete basketball players, averaging 23 points a night on 54% from the field, 10 rebounds, 4 assists a game. Okay, while also averaging like a steal and a block. And the best part about all this is my man, Mr. Bam Adebayo, is probably this season the best player on the Miami Heat. No offense to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's still fantastic, but Bam out here is also averaging 1.1 blocks and 1.3 steals, okay, a game. And just as the season has progressed, I feel like we've just seen this new assertive Bam. We knew that they needed a guy to pick up, they needed a guy they basically need 3-point and 20-point scorers. And guess what Bam Adebayo did? He said, I'm going to be that third 20-point scorer. And he had already been, a guy that last year averaged 20 and the year before 19 and 18 before that. But being this consummate threat on a nightly basis, and a team that's gone 9-5 now, turned their entire season around. They're the 11th best defensive rating. Okay, the Miami Heat, though, defensive rating over the last, I'd say, 7 games? Last 7 games. You want to hear what it is? For the season, they've been at 111. Last 7 games, they've gone to 112. So still hovering around what they have been all season, which they're literally ranked in 4th behind the Bucks, the Sixers, and number 1 seed in the East, Celtics. So it's pretty crazy to see that they have 3 22-point scorers in Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and my man, all right, Jimmy Butler's averaging 21. Okay, Duncan Robinson has 15. Then Kyle Lowry, Haywood Highsmith, and Josh Richardson are all averaging 7, and so is Kevin Love. And then you got Mr. Hamiaka is averaging 9.6, which is just great. And I think a way better team that people are expecting. And I don't know. I just when I look at this Heat team, I get excited and understand that this team's roster is a lot better than people are giving them credit for, and they're a good team. Bam Adebayo had 23 points, 11 rebounds, and Miami blew out the Bulls 118-100 2 nights after blowing a 21-point in the same building. And they set the tone and they played well. And the Heat have now won 8 of their last 9 games after a 1-4 start. And Miami nailed the season high 17 of 35 3-point attempts, despite Tyler Hero not playing after missing his 6th straight game due to a right ankle sprain. And for a 4th consecutive game, the Bulls faced a large deficit in front of their home fans. And for us, I think this is a big thing. I mean, first off, rookie forward Hamiaka scored 19 points, while Kevin Love added 11 points with 8 rebounds for a Heat bench unit that combined for 42 points compared to the Bulls, who had just 21. So I think that's something that's going to be overlooked and just not accounted for. But I definitely thought the Miami Heat, Bam Adebayo, and the rest of the boys, they're looking unstoppable, and it looking like it's going to be a really good year for them. It's going to be, how do you stop them? How do you stop them, ladies and gentlemen? You're going to want to see them keep going and understanding that, hey, this team, no matter what the pieces are always going to be a team that's going to be pushing the limits and trying to do things that people haven't done, in terms of roster construction. And it's all because of Pat Riley. That's definitely my thoughts right there. I want to hear yours. But yeah, I think it's definitely interesting to think about Bam Adebayo and the rest of the boys, because this is a very interesting season, to say the least, and what comes of it will definitely be a question for us all. So time will only tell. All right. But the Minnesota Timberwolves are the team that, if you guys know me, I've been more than excited. I've been ecstatic because of my Timberwolves. They've had a great year to start the season. All right, Minnesota, I think, is actually contenders. We're creeping into that contender. I think we're going to be obviously this team, the playoffs is going to be the real test. But right now we're 10-3, ladies and gentlemen. We're the number one team in the Western Conference. We're the number one defense, the fourth best net rating, 113.5 offensive rating for 16th. All right, dude, we're good. 26 points a night from Anthony Edwards, 12 rebounds a game from Gobert, 5 assists a game by Edwards. All right, we got 26 a night from Edwards. We got 21.5 from Karl-Anthony Towns, who's also grabbing 9 rebounds, getting a block and a steal a game while dishing out 3 assists. Karl-Anthony Towns looks amazing. Then we got 6th man of the year, Naz Reid. Then you got Rudy Gobert being the 4th scoring option. And Mike Conley's also being like not turning the ball over ever, averaging as well like 5 assists a night. Okay, it's pretty crazy. Like, and then you got Jaden McDaniels still, then Slow Mo, then Kale Alexander Walker, then Shake Milton. Okay, that's kind of that right there. I would say is our like 9-man rotation if we do go deep that deep, or if we need to go that deep. But man, I do really, I really think that I don't know. For me, one of the reason is that the Timberwolves have been so good and so consistent. Chris Finch is a goddamn good coach. Okay, love the the ability that Chris Finch has here. I've always been a big old Chris Finch fan. I think he's one of the better coaches in the NBA, and I definitely find it interesting, you know, what's gone on here. So as we continue through, I mean, when I look at a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves, what do I think? I think of a squad that's shown grit and, you know, a ferociousness that hasn't been seen. So Anthony Edwards, who had 23 points and 10 rebounds, 5 assists, while Karl-Anthony Towns had another 20 point. We beat the New York Knicks. You know what I'm saying? We beat the Knicks. Okay? We beat the goddamn Knicks. And Minnesota is now 6-0 at home, tying a franchise record to start a season and have won 9 of its past 10 games. That's a stretch, including 7 straight wins, the longest win streak in franchise history since 2004, which Kevin Garnett, the big ticket, was here. And look, that was the last time the Wolves made it past the first round of playoffs. And we all know that the locker room is coming together and understanding what it's special and how good, okay? When you need to win on a daily basis and you see how to do it, it's fantastic, all right? Minnesota shot 51% from the field while New York was forced to 34%. That's what the best D in the league. And the best thing is we understand how to play with Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert doesn't like a lot of people in his space. Literally, if you get beat, don't chase after your guy. Let Rudy get your guy. Go guard the guy that Rudy was guarding. We figured out how to play with Rudy Gobert, and I think that's one of the biggest part about this, and why we're having success now is because we know how to play with Rudy Gobert. And before that, we didn't, ladies and gentlemen. We did not know how to do that. So for me, I think it's one of the biggest things, knowing that, hey, we know how to play with the big guy now. And that has changed everything for us. So for me, I think that's one of the biggest things, and part of the reason why we're having success this season in comparison to other years. But yeah, I definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts. Are you guys in agreement with me? Because the Minnesota Timberwolves have been one of the most fun teams to watch this season, and I think they're deserving of all the praise that I'm giving them, okay? And now we got to talk about the Jordan Poole trade rumors that we're hearing, okay? So basically, what we're hearing is that from Bleacher Report, where is it? There was a great article. Okay, there was a great article that I read literally yesterday. Sports, okay, Insider Believe right here. Bleacher Report. So there is this rumor being perpetuated, right? Perpetuated. Don't know why we were struggling to say that word so bad. But so you guys know I'm a Washington Wizards fan, and maybe my nightmare might end sooner rather than later. I said it before. I thought Jordan Poole was going to be the Eric Gordon for us. So if you guys remember back when Eric Gordon was traded for Chris Paul in like 2012, Everyone, the big part of that trade was Eric Gordon being traded, as he was like a borderline all-star and he was kind of viewed as like franchise cornerstone material for the Hornets at the time. And that I thought Jordan Poole was going to be like that. And I'm a Wizards fan, and I look at every glass half full. And as someone who, shout out Mark Stein of the Stein Line, and then this Bleacher Report article that was basically reacting or speculating upon the report from Mark Stein. Mark Stein writes that the Washington Wizards do not view Jordan Poole as franchise cornerstone material. That this is what we're hearing. The Washington Wizards may not view Jordan Poole as a key piece of their long-term future, according to NBA insider Mark Stein. Mark Stein pondered whether the Wizards acquired the young guard with an eye towards dealing him down the line or positioning him as a cornerstone player of their post-Bradley Beal future. From his sense from speaking to various league observers, that it is more believed it is the former rather than the latter, with Poole in year one of a 4-year, $123 million contract, Stein wrote. Poole has delivered the occasional, impressive individual moment, but he's also demonstrated to some degree why the Golden State Warriors chose to get rid of him. Poole's averaging like 15 points. He's shooting like 30 something percent from the field, like 20 something percent from three. Okay, his true shooting is like 50 or below 50%. He's on pace to have his lowest true shooting since his rookie year. And basically, according to NBA.com, the on-off splits aren't the definitive indicator of a player's value, but basically Washington's better on the floor without Jordan Poole than they are, and that's not great when you're paying someone $32 million. And Jordan Poole's struggling with a lesser supporting cast and a bigger role than he had in Golden State, and that in turns have made some of his plays a bit harder to watch. And maybe his performance will grow, but what it's seeming like is, yes, people don't want Jordan Poole here. That's what we're hearing, okay? There's no trade value, ladies and gentlemen, though. If you're sitting here and you're going to be like, oh, who can you guys trade Jordan Poole for? If you can convince the San Antonio Spurs to take on Jordan Poole's contract, Will Dawkins, you're a genius. So for $32 million, who can you get that's on it? Gordon Hayward's an expiring that you should try to get. Okay, you're looking for expiring contracts. You're looking for Gordon Hayward, Kyle Lowry. All right, you're looking for freaking who else could be on that list? We're looking for expiring deals. There's no one really else. That was the best. Maybe you package a couple of contracts you can eat. Dude, there's nobody. That was it. That was it. That was the most realistic trade offers I could put out there, guys. There's nothing else. Like literally Gordon Hayward or Kyle Lowry, maybe DeMar DeRozan if you guys want to somehow convince them there, but we're screwed with Jordan Poole later. We're gonna have to pay somebody to take him off our hands at this point. It's not been the best. It's not been the best, and I won't say it's right. So I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Oh, as I drop my fucking phone. What do you guys think of Jordan Poole? And are you guys on the same page as me? It's definitely an interesting situation when we look at it because I wonder like what's going to be the case and why. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. But yeah, it's definitely interesting where Jordan Poole is going to end up and why. I want him out of here. Like legit, just don't give a crap for the guy. But we have some more Mark Stein news, which you gotta love. When Mark Stein starts putting out the news, you know stuff's going down if Mark Stein's writing about it, okay? And yeah, like let's go. So let's get right into the next report, which is another report by Mark Stein of the Stein Line. So Mark Stein is saying that two Bulls are generating the most trade rumors from rival teams. And the answer to that is rather than Zach LaVine or free agent to be DeMar DeRozan or even recently re-signed Nikola Vucevic, it's actually Alex Caruso, who we've actually talked about previously and saying that basically the entire league wants him and that it comes down to the Bulls wanting to trade him and also what's the price tag. And then the second guy is Patrick Williams, who people still like his potential, even though he's been underwhelming to start this year and for his career, and especially that he is an expiring contract. But you would have his restricted free agent rights. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the what this could all look like and why. I think it's definitely when it's hard to see who's going to be the actual guy that they go out and or like trade. Is it Caruso? Is it Vooch? Is it? I think whoever gets traded first will like be the one that like the domino to that snowball affects this. Caruso, you're getting like 2 first-round picks. I don't even know what you're trading Pat Will for, but if we're just looking around the league and like what everybody makes, so Alex Caruso right now he's paid decently, like I think it's 9.4. So guys who make similar money, Jeff Green, Nick Claxton, Scoot Henderson, Monte Morris, Pat Will makes the same amount of money, Landry Shamet, Larry Nance, like campaign. Like if you're gonna look at a young guy, okay. I if I was how would I put this? If I was I think I accidentally turned off my monitor. There we go. If I were I don't even know. TJ McConnell's available, but like these guys are too good. All right, so here's one. DeLon Wright's an expiring. If I'm the Wizards, I will package DeLon Wright and 2 second-round picks for Pat Will. Now, if I'm a contending team that wants Caruso, let's say this is where it gets a little difficult. If I'm who's somebody that okay, Gabe Vincent for Caruso, and maybe you throw in a first-round pick. Would you guys do that? No? Yes? What do you guys think? You know, I don't know. I think it's definitely it's hard. So, yeah, it becomes harder to think about, but I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts. Would you guys do any of that deal? A little quick one right here. But yeah, I think hey, yeah, he definitely has to have a serious bounce back year. So it'll be interesting to see if you're talking about Pat Williams, but Mile High 6. So right here, I thought that was definitely interesting to hear all about that. And let's wrap this up with a little bit of Alperen Sengun talk. So Alperen Sengun's been on a mission. Yes, yes. The Houston Rockets lost last night, but the Golden State Warriors are starting to figure it out. So I give the Rockets a pass. They're still 6-6, even though they're 0-5 on the road. Okay, Rockets, you need to learn how to win on the road, ladies and gentlemen. And look, this was a game where Alperen Sengun had 30 points and 13 rebounds. Jabari Smith had 17, and Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green had 16 each. The Rockets are winless in 5 road games this season and haven't beat the Warriors since February 20th, 2020. And Houston's coach, Ime Udoka, blamed the Rockets' defense for allowing Golden State to take so many open shots. But holistically, we're just looking at what they've done this year. We got to give them a round of applause. I mean, Alperen Sengun's the guy who deserves it. How do you go ahead and just talk about a guy who's absolutely Alperen Sengun's the star, okay, and an absolute phenom. So I just think we're just over 10% of the way, and this team's actually on pace to be close to 40 wins. I don't know if they'll hit it or not, but look, this team, the 21-year-old center, it's insane. Alperen Sengun's in the same field as Sabonis and Jokic. His ability to score is insane. His deployment as like the team's best weapon is so much fun to watch. And obviously we know that, Houston's loss will it's definitely interesting to see how this all parlays and like how it's all being like kind of like portrayed as this is a great year, but Shagun's so good. This is how the floor opens up after you hit some threes and you make like the defensive opponent's center pull up to Shagun, and then he opens the floor, and he's a guy who's like, he's one of 7 players averaging 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists per game this season, and that's absurd. Everybody else on that list is like fucking Hall of Fame like talent, And Shagun is a guy who's the heart of the defense. He's got this, everybody, they're playing through him. And he blows up with a double-double and a loss. Despite it being his best scoring performance and notching the second highest total rebound so far this season, they're on a 3-game losing streak. But I think if Shagun continues to play like this, they're going to be in contention. And you can't say that this kid isn't good. All right, Alperen Sengun has long been somebody that if you have NBA League Pass, you got to watch this passing, innovative, bull in a china shop type player. And this year, he's someone who's able to run a screen, handoff situation, but also be a standstill passer, putting defenders at hip, playing like a quarterback. And it's just Larry behind the back crossover on Giannis Valanciunas was insane. And Shagun has this aggression, and I don't know, I think it's absolutely fantastic to watch them play basketball. So they're on a run. Yeah, the European centers are dominating the league now because he grew up in Turkish basketball. They're way more physical than us. And they're just playing amazing. It's really fun to watch. It really is. It really is. To see these guys and the level of competition that they're able to play through, I think is, the impact he is having is second to none. So I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. And that's definitely where I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Okay? What do you guys think and why about Alperen Sengun? Are you guys on the same page as I am? Because Alperen Sengun is going to be a top 3 center probably by the end of the season. I would not doubt it or put it past the mind that he's going to be that good. All right? So let me hear your thoughts down below. But yeah, for me, when I look at Alperen Sengun is too good for Houston Rockets. All right. And look at that. We made 5 NBA videos, ladies and gentlemen. And we feel good. That's how you do it. You make 5 NBA videos while you're live streaming this when you're doing it by yourself. So you don't necessarily have to do it later. I got a couple videos I want to put out today that I'm still... Dude, there's this chick that I went to, how do you put it? I banged in high school that lives out here. I have a girlfriend, but it's definitely interesting to know that she lives out here. Not that, like, it's for each title. It's just interesting that she lives out here. I think she hates me. Okay? I'm like 95% sure she does. You know who's pretty hot? Karina Cope. I was thinking about that the other day. I never pay attention, but she's pretty hot. I don't care about streamers though. And like, isn't she like one of those people who like self-sexualizes herself? Like, nothing wrong with that. But like, there isn't, besides being a streamer who shows her tits, basically, she isn't anything, right? Like, talent-wise. No offense. No offense. I mean, that is talent, but in its own right. I just don't know if it's, besides getting yourself a trophy husband or being a trophy wife, I don't know what else it's gonna do. But yeah, that's it, guys. Short little show today. What else? Let's do some housekeeping. Okay. First off, let's do Pirtle. We always do that, so I think having that right here. Who's this? Okay, Pirtle for today. That could really be Victor Wembanyama. That's the first guess we're going to do. Okay, so it's not Vic, nor is it a center. It kind of looks like Georges Niang. It looks like a foreign player. I'm sorry. It kind of looks like... So she's in the East, he's in the Central. Okay, so I'm thinking... Who's somebody that looks like that on the... Let's try Andrew Nembhard. All right, he is a guard. He's either on the Pistons. Okay, he's 6'5" or 6'6", and he's a guard. So we're going to try Boyan. Okay, so we got... The last 2 teams are the Bucks and the Bulls. So my next guess is not Grayson Allen. Who's somebody on that team? AJ Green? AJ Green. Okay, so he's clearly on the Bulls. Who the fuck on the Bulls could this be? Let's see what you guys are saying. You guys have not said anything, so. Who's on the Bulls that looks like this? Because we got every other team. There's Kobe White, there's Alex Caruso, there's Zach LaVine. I had to like do that. That was like the whole mental thing we were doing right there. Let's go see if there's any housekeeping stuff we gotta do before we leave today's show. Okay, so Lakers are currently focused on internal improvements amid Zach LaVine trade rumors. The Lakers are one of the teams that are allegedly interested with the Sixers and Heat. Supposed Lakers' interest in LaVine is TBD. The team hopes the return of Zach LaVine and Gabe Vincent. That's not even worth making a video about. Damn. All right, so we're hearing that it's an assortment of issues that had happened in training camp, that he's dealing with nerve irritation from his back to his legs, which means he's dealing with numbness, which is fucking insane, dude. Who else? This Raptor stuff is BS. I've talked with people in the league. I got a couple friends in the league, and I've Seth Partnow has said it on shows. I talked to a general manager of a G League team, and he hit somebody up who works for the Knicks for me. And the guy supposedly from the Knicks, he's a lower level dude, but the general manager I was talking to of a G League team basically told me this shit's being overblown. So I don't know what really to make of it, but yeah, there's that. And so let's go over here before we finish up right here. We talked about the Caruso stuff. Disable. No, I'm not trying to disable my ad block. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. I have been able to go through this website before with no ad block problem. Fuck you guys. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. All right. I think that's where we're going to leave it. I don't necessarily have much I want to talk about. So that's it. Have a good one, guys. I'm going to head out. Peace.